So today we are going to do one of the granny squares. So we're going to do the floral one, the first one I think it was. So that was the one that was voted for the most. And I'm going to start with the white and I'm going to make a magic circle. If you don't want to make a magic circle or you struggle with this, then use either chain 3 and then do your crochets into the first loop, the first chain that you made, so the third one from the hook, or do a chain 4, join them together and then go into the circle that the chain 4 makes. Okay, but for me, I'm going to make a magic circle. So I'm doing it in white and I'm going to use a 5.5, there you go, 5.5 mil hook throughout. So I'm going to make a magic circle, and that's my first chain. So I'm going to make another chain, and then I'm making 16 double crochets. I think it's an 8 petal pattern, hence the 16. So okay, so I should have 16 now. So I'll just check that. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, just make it sure. Make a mistake here, then it's going to throw out the whole pattern. So I'm going to tighten that and I'm going to slip stitch into the top of the double crochet. Okay, so that's the central section. And then I'm going to change over. Now, on the changeover, I'm going to do 2 changeovers of colour for the pink, but you can keep the same pink throughout. It's entirely up to you. I think the picture shows it with just 1 colour change, but I am going to do 2. Oh, she says. It's not being very cooperative. Right. So, in order to do the join, you can join anywhere. So you can cut off and pull through, and you can join anywhere. So I'm going to just join into the next one, and this actually is probably a little bit too thin, this pink, but nonetheless. So I am going to just chain that one, pull it tight. Right, so then I'm chaining 2 and I'm doing a double crochet into the same stitch. Probably you can see that. So I've chained 2, double crochet into the same stitch. Then what's going to happen next is I am going to chain 2, and in the next stitch I'm going to the pattern says double crochet 2 together, and what it wants me to do is to, into the next stitch, go as if I'm going to make a double crochet and part complete it. So if I wanted to finish it, I'd have chain over and go through these 2, but then I'm going to start the next double crochet and do that, and then I'm going to go and yarn over and through all 3. So this gives me effectively what looks like 2 double crochets, but I've only got 1 stitch at the top. Okay, so I have chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, and then this double crochet 2 together. And the next thing I'm going to do is a chain 1 and then do this same double crochet 2 together. So I'll do that again with you. So yarn over and through the loop, through the stitch, I say, yarn over, pull through, yarn over through 2, yarn over through the stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over through 2, and then yarn over through the 3. And then this time, if you remember, I chained 2 here, I'm just chaining 1, and we're going to keep each stitch is going to have the double crochet 2 together in, but we're going to alternate between 1 chain and 2 chains as we go along. So the reason for that is we are making an increase, and in order to make that increase, we need to make sure that we've got enough of an increase going round. So chain 1, then do our double crochet 2 together, chain 2, double crochet 2 together, chain 1. Okay, we're going to do that all the way around. I'm just going to count again here because I should have 16 spaces gone into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So this one is not going to be a space I go into, and I'm going to go into the top of the chain 2 this time. Okay, and that is our first round with colour made. So you should have 16 of the double crochet 2 together, so remembering that the first one was chain 2 and double crochet, and then you should have 8 chain 1 spaces and 8 chain 2, that's chain 2 space, sorry, and 8 chain 1 spaces. Okay, so then I'm going to go into this again with my next colour, which is a dark pink. Again, I'm just going to cut this off. Look through, and I'm going to go into a chain 1 space. So I am going to go to this chain. Yeah, this chain 1 space. For some reason I seem to have done, no, that's 2. So this chain 1 space, and this time we're going to do some cluster stitches. So chain 1. You can do a slip knot if you prefer, but I just don't. So I'm going to tie that chain 1, and I am going to then put a single crochet into that space there. Okay, and then I am going to chain 2. I'm going to do a cluster stitch in this one here. So a cluster stitch is almost the same as this double crochet together. This cluster stitch is doing that but 3 times. So I'm going to go, so that's the first double crochet partially made, the second double crochet partially made, the third double crochet partially made, and then you yarn over and you go through all 4 loops on the hook. Then you chain 1 and you do the same thing in that same space. So I'll talk through it in a slightly different way for people who aren't as familiar with doing these stitches. So you're going to yarn over, you're going to go through the chain, yarn over and pull up. You're then going to yarn over and go through 2 as if you're making a double crochet. Then yarn over, go back through the chain, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over through 2, so that makes like we've almost started 2 double crochets. Yarn over through the chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over through 2, leaves us 4 on the hook, and then we're going to yarn over and we're going to pull through. So we've now got 2 of the clusters with a chain in the middle, and then we are going to repeat that now. Sorry, we're going to chain 2, and then into the next space, which should be a chain 1 space, we're going to single crochet, and then we will chain 2 and repeat this cluster. So we're going to have a single crochet, a chain 2, sorry, bring that down, a single crochet, chain 2, a cluster, chain 1, cluster, chain 2, single crochet, chain 2. Okay, so we're going to start again in here now with a cluster. Remember, it's almost 3 double crochets. We stop after making the first part of each one, chain 1, and then another 3. Okay, we're going to chain 2, get some more yarn. So then we're going to chain 2, we're going to single crochet into the chain 1 space, chain 2, and then the cluster again. So I'll work that all the way around. Okay, so I'm nearly finished now, and I'm going to slip stitch into the single crochet. So not the chain, but the single crochet. Hopefully you can see that. So not this little bit here, but this bit. Okay. So again, I'm going to cut that end off. Okay, so this is where we're up to so far. There we go. So that's that bit so far. So the next thing now is the green. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 petals, which is exactly what we should have. I have got 2 different types of green because I wasn't sure which one I would prefer. I think I'm going to go for the sort of slightly darker one. And this is going to go into one of the single crochets. I'm going to put it into this one here. So again, I just pull that through and make a chain and pull that tight, so that is not my actual chain. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to chain 2, and then in this same single crochet I'm going to double crochet, treble, chain 2, treble, double. So there's a lot going on in here. So double first of all, so yarn over, go through the single crochet, pull through the yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. I'm now going to do a treble crochet, so I'm wrapping the yarn around the hook twice, going back through into the same single crochet, grabbing the yarn and pulling it through, and then I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to pull through 2, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. So I'm yarning over and doing it 3 times. Okay, then I'm chaining 2, and I'm going to do another treble. So again, you got right round twice through the same space into the same area, and then we're going to yarn over through 2 3 times. That's 1 2 3, and then a normal double crochet. Okay, so that's the first section of green done. So we're going to chain 4 1 2 3 4. We are skipping the petal, and we're going to half double crochet into this next single crochet. So half double crochet into there, okay, and then we are going to chain 4. Oh, a bit splitty this one. 1 2 3 4. Sorry, you can't see that. And then we're going to do this same stitch in this one. So we're all going into the single crochets each time. So let's remember what we did again. So we've chained 4, we're going to skip over here, and in this one now we're going to make a double crochet, a treble crochet, chain 2, a treble, a double, and then chain 4. Okay, just pull some more yarn out. Okay, so again we're going to skip over and we're going to do a half double crochet into this. Now you'll notice when I did it, it sort of slits around a little bit, so you can either keep hold of your hook, or as you're doing it, just remember that you're going to pull through, and you've got 3 loops you've got to go through. So you can pull through the 2 and then through that last one. So 1 2 3 4, and I'm going to miss all of this and go back into this single crochet, and I'm doing a double crochet, a treble, oh, lost that one, let's start again, a treble, chain 2, a treble, a double, chain 4, yarn over and do a half double crochet in the next single crochet, chain 4, we're back with our next single crochet, so a double, a treble, chain 2, treble, double, chain 4, half double crochet, chain 4, and this time we are going to slip stitch into the first double crochet, so not the chain 2 but the first double crochet. So when you look, that's the treble, and then this is the double crochet. I'll just snip that one. Okay, so you can see how it started to go into a square now. So by doing this, you've got 4 of the double treble, chain 2, treble double sections, and then 4 half double crochets there. Now the next row is, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth row is the white again, and we're going to start in a corner, so it can be any corner. So I think I will start in this corner, and I'm going to slip stitch into the corner, which is going to be the chain 2 space. So pull that tight, and I am chaining 2, and I am putting 2 double crochets, so 2 double crochets, 2 chains, and 2 double crochets into this corner. Okay, then I'm going to put a double crochet into each of the actual stitches. So this is the treble and this is the double, so there's going to be a double crochet into each of those. Just grabbing more yarn. So along this chain 4 space, I'm now going to work 4 double crochets into it. You can, if you wish, to actually go into each space, or you can just go around the chain and do 4 across. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to miss that half double crochet. We're going to go straight across to the next set of chains, and we're going to do another 4 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so then you're going to crochet into each of the next stitches. So that's the double crochet there, and then the treble crochet there, and then in the corner we're going to do what we did in the last one, which was double crochet 2, chain 2, and double crochet 2. Okay, so that's one side done, and we're going to do exactly the same along these. So you're going to double crochet into each of the stitches, so the treble and the double, 4 double crochets around the chain, miss the half double crochets, 4 double crochets around the chain, double crochet into each of the stitches, and then in the corner 2 double crochets, 2 chains, and 2 double crochets, and you're going to complete that until you get to the end. So I shall meet you at the end. Okay, and we're just coming up to the last 2 double crochets, and then we are going to slip stitch into the first double crochet, again making sure it's not the chain 2 space, and I'm going to cut that off, pull that through, and then other than the ends I'll try and pull through. that is okay. So here is the finished piece. Very pretty. I would be tempted to go down a hook size if I did this again. I probably prefer mine to be a little bit tighter, although I suppose if it was going on a blanket you wouldn't want it to be too tight. This was done in Aran with a 5.5. I think if you were doing it with the double knit, then a 4mm hook would probably work out perfectly for it. If you come to do this and you want to keep the same pink, then row 2 and row 3 can all be done in the same colour, and that will match it up entirely. But yeah, very, very pretty pick, ladies. I can't remember which is the next one. I think the next two, which is the yellow and the owl, had the same number of votes on it, so I shall try and do that for next week. Okay, happy hooking.